All right, y'all. Beats, Rhymes, y Comunidad, the show where community management meets the culture. As always, I'm your host, Jersey City Jeff. And guys, welcome to episode 10, the season 1 finale. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we made it. Whew, gosh, I'm so excited for this week. All right, so we're going to pivot from our typical format. Normally, we'd hop into an intro or a mix or a live event of some kind, but I wanted to take a beat from our usual format because we are celebrating this week. We made it to the end of season 1, and I wanted to just take a moment and express my gratitude and bring you a little bit behind the curtain on how this show got started. We launched in April of this year, 2025, but I really got to work on building this show last year. I'm currently in the process of building out a community management consulting practice called Fiesta Alegre Community Consulting. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, Fiesta Alegre is a mashup of two words. Fiesta is the Spanish word for party, and Alegre is the word for happy. So consider my consulting practice a happy party. So Beats, Rhymes, y Comunidad started as an idea following the establishment of this consulting practice. I thought to myself, what's a great way that we can shine a light on community builders in the space who may not necessarily have the words community manager in their job title, while also exploring the intersection of community in the professional world with community in a cultural setting, whether that be hip hop culture, whether that be music in general, television, film, art, theater, you name it. That is the intention of this show, is to really uncover gems in how people establish their careers. We're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole and see how far it goes. But in the meantime, I just wanted to take a moment and express my gratitude to everyone who's been a supporter of the show so far. It's a small but mighty cohort of individuals, but you know what they say when you first get started, it's quality over quantity. So I'd first like to start by thanking some of my mentors from the entertainment space. Salute to Sway Calloway, salute to Destroy, salute to Crazy Legs, DJ Tony Touch, some of my superheroes, but there's plenty others. I mean, gosh, Jersey City Jeff, the inspiration for that came directly from Heather B, so salute to her as well and the whole Sway in the Morning crew. I gotta thank my co-host, Merlinda Lucas. Oh my gosh, girl, it's been a few episodes since we've had the chance to chop it up, but you know, I know we've both been busy and the show's just getting its footing. So looking forward for us to connect very soon. Salute to my brother Giraldo Luis Alvarez of the Siempre Palante podcast. That young man is he's my brother, man. That guy's been a staunch supporter of the show since day one, and our relationship just continues to grow closer. All of my friends and family, anyone who's been tuning in so far, all of our guests on the show, oh my gosh, man, it's been such a wonderful privilege to be so warmly received. It's a busy world out there, so I'm really deeply grateful for all of your time, sharing your experiences, and really just being available to help us get this thing started, man. So that's pretty much it. In terms of today's show, we have a wonderful guest for you this week, Francisco Opazo, founder of Led by Community. He's got a wonderful event coming up, just coming off the heels of London Community Week. Now he's headed over to Toronto in Canada for Toronto Community Week. There's a great lineup of speakers and talented community builders in the space who are going to be there. Our mix for this week, we're going to go back to some of the gems from every episode, starting at episode 1 all the way through episode 9. Some really great gems that were uncovered this season, and I'm really excited for what we have going forward. So really looking forward to season 2. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but we got some surprises up our sleeve. So thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for season 2 and enjoy the show. I'm very curious and interested about the relationship between the Black and Latino community through the lens of hip hop. This shit started 50 years ago with Blacks and Puerto Ricans coming together in the Bronx.
Come on.
And I love that message made its way around for the 50th.
Yes.
But as I started to reflect upon that, in my mind, I'm like, well, if we were that close 50 years ago, in my humble opinion, we are not that close in 2024. Yeah. And that is a huge problem to me. But riddle me this, Batman. Like, how can the Latino community ever expect to reconnect and reunite with our Black brothers and sisters if we ourselves are segregated and we discriminate against each other? I'm Puerto Rican, this one's Dominican, the other one's Cuban. Shut the fuck up. We're all Latinos.
We're all Latinos.
What are your thoughts on this as a steward of the culture and as an Afro-Latino?
I feel like it's by design.
Right.
And I love that you went from MTV and the corporate world to hip hop, because they're both created and designed by the colonizers. They want us again to not know how strong we are together. They know how powerful we would be if we were to join forces. They don't want us to. Right. So they try to, plant these seeds in our head that you're better than them. We were all present at the birth of hip hop. You look at the graffiti landscape. You look at the breaking landscape. You look at the DJing, the sonics. All of that stuff. We were working on that stuff together. So I feel like it's just the enemy at work when we are dividing and arguing and bickering amongst each other about something that, let's be real, we love to take ownership of it, but when you pull up the documents, we don't own shit.
Yeah.
All the labels own our IP. Yep. They own our music. They own our all of our creativity, all our royalties, all of that stuff. Shout out to Nas for putting together healthcare for some of the OGs. Why are we doing that? We're so busy arguing about who started hip hop and who didn't, that some of our legends and icons are dying from things that could be taken care of if we shut up and just focused on what was important.
Taking care of us.
Taking care of each other.
How did maybe some of that imposter syndrome play into your establishing community by association and getting that off the ground?
Yeah, that was scary, because initially Community by Association started out as a blog. I was learning about community in the association and nonprofit space. And there's all of this content and learning in the world about how to build community, but more along the lines of how to do it in the tech space, how to build out a customer support community. But there are nuances within the association space that weren't necessarily addressed. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to write about what I'm learning. And so I started as a blog in 2018. It gained traction. And I started to get inquiries. And people were like, hey, we have this problem that we need help solving. Do you consult? And I was like, no, I don't have enough experience for that. I don't know enough, even though I was writing about it on a biweekly basis.
Yeah.
And they were like, cool. Can you though? And so at some point I decided I can either continue to turn this down. Is this something that I really want? Or I can provide value to people who are asking for it and have really candid conversations with them around their strategy. But I think as part of that, one of the things that I was really challenged with was diversity of thought in what this profession actually means and where it's heading. For instance, I do not believe every company needs a community. I don't. I believe that there is an identification of a need that could be a good digital engagement strategy. It could be a good customer marketing strategy. But if someone pulls me into a conversation to assess where they are with thinking about community, I'm going to ask them some very specific questions. And if I don't think they're there yet, I am going to tell them, you are not ready. Sounds like your focus is X, Y, and Z. Here are solutions that might help. When you're ready for community, call me. This is not the time. Because it is detrimental to set up a space for people to feel cared for, seen, and heard, and then abandon it when it doesn't necessarily, at the end of the day, fall in line with your business goals.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous space to be in.
Talk to me about, you were born and raised in the Philippines.
Yes.
You come over to LA at the age of 5. Right?
1987.
And you hated it when you first got here. Right?
Hated it. Didn't speak any English. I was like, where am I? What is this? This is crazy.
What did you love about growing up in the Philippines that made you hate coming to the States? Like, what was the biggest difference that you were like, oh, fuck this place?
Yeah, it felt very country. You know, it felt home. It felt like you were in the islands. You know, it felt free, right? When you're on the island, it's free.
Being in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, like if I felt very like controlled when I came to America. In the Philippines, you're free. You're running free. I got like goats and monkeys, and I'm running around, and there's open areas, and people are selling juices on the road, and it's hot. And all the neighbors' houses are open. Everyone's always out and about, and it's just like when I came to America, I just saw like everything was so manufactured and separated. You know, in the Philippines, it's like, oh, my neighbor's house is next door, but how you get there is you got to go under the gate, and you got to open the side, and then you're going to see a guava tree, and then from the guava tree, like, you know, that's you jump over, and then that's how you get to the neighbor's house.
We talked about how Filipinos and Puerto Ricans in Jersey were. Yeah. What did the dynamic between Filipinos and Latinos look like coming up on the West?
Oh man, that was so. I felt like I definitely blended more with the Latinos. They didn't understand what Asians were.
Who's they?
Like the Latinos.
Really?
Yeah.
In what sense?
I was called a Chinese peanut in school before.
Chinese peanut?
They thought I was Chinese.
Oh, I got it.
They didn't understand what yeah, man. I'm gonna take that with me forever.
Sinvergüenza. You know, you guys,
shame on you.
Get it together, please.
So I think having that strong cultural background of being born and raised in a third world country is what makes me, one, you know, obviously appreciate things a lot more, and two, simple. I'm a very simple person, but I got a complicated mind. I can make amazing, expensive things, but I'm so simple. Right. You know? Right. Super, super simple. I could just be in a bathing suit eating coconut.
There you go.
On the beach and be like, wow, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah. This dry powder skit? My man Pablo, when I heard Pablo, salute Pablo Gonzalez, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This shit is dope. How did you come to meet Pablo Gonzalez?
He's a perfect example of like community and people.
100%.
I think because he saw a music video I posted, which was a parody of Stan by Eminem. And then, I don't know, a few months later, he sends a message like, hey, I'm gonna be in Chicago and I'm just gathering a small group of people. We're gonna do for tea time at the Drake Hotel. I don't know if Pablo knows this, but I'll be honest. He was like talking about, he was like going up like the great recontextualization of communication. I was like, this guy might be too intense for me. He kept tossing out this like, I wanna get on the album. And I was like, yeah. No. And he was like, all right, let me just record something, like, you tell me if you like it or not. So for anyone who's not familiar, the song is called Dry Powder. In the startup world, the term for venture capital is dry powder. Like, it means a VC firm has money to deploy. They're sitting on dry powder. The idea is they mean it more in the sense of like a powder keg. Like, we just need someone to light the match and this thing will blow up. Yep. So that's like how they think about, which one's going to be our light the match, investment. Right. But the money that they have not yet invested, they're sitting on, that's dry powder. Mm-hmm. So I took that concept and I was like, let's flip it and make this whole thing a cocaine heroin analogy. But it's actually about the addiction to raising money, which so many founders get addicted to. Yep. But you're hearing everything through the lens of of drugs. And so he sends back this skit, and I was like, this is so funny. I was like, this is a must. This has to get out.
You know what? It would be the Venezuelan guy named Pablo to fucking do a skit about, where there's the innuendos about coke and shit like that. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious, man. I loved it. Part of such influential groups with the Arsonists, with Rocksteady Crew, how has your involvement in those influential groups shaped your understanding of community, especially within hip hop?
You have to respect each other's space. You have to, because what people don't realize when they see groups and crews come and go, it's based on bad communication and not respecting each other's space. That's the sum of it all. And the Arsonist broke, when I look at it now through mature eyes, would have handled it totally opposite the way I did.
Right.
Way opposite. You know, our initial response was break it all up and kick him out and he got to go. Now I look at it and be like, no, I would have
talked that one out.
healed it. I would have healed it.
Yeah.
Got the Band-Aid on. Let's heal this.
You know, I would also challenge that, though, respectfully, to say that there were plenty of moments where you got to experience the positive side of community in your career, right? Especially through collaborations, folks giving you that little bit of encouraging nudge, like, hey, this maybe is not it for Stillwell. Maybe we do need to keep at this, you know? Crazy Legs, like, hey, go start a rock group, you know, or even saying like, yo, the CNC deal is maybe not what you're looking for right now, but there's a larger purpose at work, you know?
That's beautiful. It's so beautiful that you said it. First of all, if I went through a quick timeline and did what you said, if it wasn't for Crazy Legs, I don't start my journey at all.
Right.
No matter where Rocksteady ended up, him, lessons from Wiggles, Fable, Kenny, all the elders in Rocksteady, all the elders in Zulu. If it wasn't for this group of elders, I'd be lost. And then when that ended, Ill Bill putting out my solo album was massive. It was the most selfless act in the world because he didn't need to do that. He didn't need me. So yes, on a positive note, I do, and it's dope that you say that, I do understand how all of these people play such pivotal roles in my life. Fieldy's another one. You got to understand that Fieldy and Wov, remember it's Wov too from POD, the drummer from POD.
Yep.
Those dudes have been so encouraging to me through the whole time. This is a 20 plus year thing that we've been doing.
Yeah.
They never struggled with what it was that I was attempting to do. They just cheered me on and worked with me and wrote songs with me. So even that in itself is a beautiful thing.
We had the Infinity listening party there, and then we also did an album release party there.
Mm.
Both times the guys they performed at the session. Yep.
We met for the first time, the Infinity
listening
party. Let me tell you something, yo, that was like, I think the first time I've ever been out in the wild, and you came up to me and like, you're Jersey City Jeff, aren't you? And I was like, holy shit.
Well, because and that's the thing. I absolutely just rolled up on you, but it's because we were friends online. We knew that's how I discovered you, because you were posting and you knew all my people. So I was like, oh, this
guy's part of the community.
And I loved your content. There was something about it that so genuine, so genuine, and I feel that that's missing a lot in terms, like on a lot of social media.
Yeah,
because people, people
like me all the time,
and they do stuff for the gram. But I think you and a number of other people are able to do it in a way where it feels inclusive rather than invasive. And that's what I mean. What I like about the way that you do it is that you can tell that you're doing it from the perspective of sharing.
Yes.
So I wanted, and it's funny because when I saw your stuff, I felt like we knew each other. I got to know him because he knows all the people. Right. But then I was like, no, I guess we've never met. So I wanted to meet you anyway.
I love it.
Then when I saw you there, I was like, oh, it's Jeff. Hey, what's up?
I love it.
I think that this book is going to be the proof of concept.
Opener.
You know what I'm saying? When you're having important albums like As the World Burns celebrated in the way that it's just been, that's super encouraging.
Putting the book together was an up and down process, and it made me feel really good because although this is an arsonist book, I'm the one who's putting it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I signed the contract with the publisher, I had congratulations. The very first congratulations said, you're officially an author. And I was like, who would have ever thought, kid from the hood will put out records, travel the world, be in movies, now I'm an author? Like, what? It's still unreal.
Yeah.
It still hasn't even hit me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this was about when I signed the contract. It was on 8 months ago, and I was officially in the book world, and the book hasn't even dropped. My daughter drew the arsonist logo, and I added her in it. So as a father, having my daughter involved in this book, her name is in it.
Amazing.
She gets credit. Like I'm going to be paying her.
I think it's important that we address the things that impact our industry, especially as we begin to go forward. A few years ago, there was a what I'd like to call a moment of reckoning for our industry that started with a flurry that began on Twitter and Instagram, and again around some of the OG folks who were considered leaders in the space, scrupulous behavior, stealing work, all of these things. Break that occurrence down from your perspective, because I feel like you were one of the closest people to it.
The co-founder of CMX had started it as a conference. I came on as it was a mess of a conference, worked to clean things up there, basically changed it into an actual functioning business. And so by every definition, like I was a co-founder, I was a business partner in this. I was turning this business into an actual business and not just like a cute little hobby where someone made a lot of money off of other people's ideas. And I did not get credit for that work. I did not get the formal title of co-founder.
And here we are 3 years later. Marjorie has expressed that she doesn't know that there's been something that of remediation that would justify such egregious kind of plagiarism. But yeah, break it down from your perspective.
I've since been reached out to and told I should have had that. And so I got that. Yeah. To Marjorie's point about that and that persists and has persisted. And then what the company was, CMX was acquired by a company called Bevy. And the things I heard from employees of Bevy were horrible. I heard horrible things. I think Bevy has probably like done more damage than CMX even did. I don't know about it. I don't, I backed the F off, but just the amount of people taking advantage of other people. In an industry that's supposed to be about setting the example for others about collaboration and connection is just not right.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me, which is why I'm like, okay, peace out. I'll say like 3 years in hindsight, like the edges have worn off for me. It's not, quite as edgy, but I've distanced myself from the entire industry as a result of that stuff because the BS continues. But I think every industry has its people full of hot air and who are all talk and who take credit for other people's work and all that. Every industry struggles.
Yeah, good say of that. Yeah, for sure. What are the things we should keep an eye on? Make sure we don't go off the rails like that again.
There's a lot of very deep-seated things going on there around, especially around like we need to be aware of, our human propensity to want to choose a hero, choose a figurehead, and then like think that they're going to save us or like, which in America on writ large.
Tell me about how you got involved with the dry powder skit on Raj's album. Yes. I need to hear this story from your perspective because I heard Raj's version and now I got to hear it from.
Raj didn't tell you on on that thing is that I bothered Raj for like a year and a half. Telling him he needed to make a mixtape, right? I didn't know, so I met Raj. Raj released this like, that Eminem Stan song.
Yep.
He released this like video that was like a parody of Stan called Carl, where it was like a BDR meeting somebody at a conference, getting ghosted on the follow-up and like going crazier and crazier. And I'm quasi obsessed on the idea that somebody's going to be the Weird Al Yankovic of LinkedIn. Yeah. And I want to be that person's friend and I want to be their enabler. So I reached out to Raj. I'm like, yo, man, this is cool. I have this idea. We become friends. I'm like, Raj, you need to put out a mixtape, bro. Like I didn't know that Raj had previously like put out other albums and whatnot. Yeah. I'm like hitting him up on the mixtape thing. He's getting hired to do like these jingles for these like, these companies, and eventually he's like, dude, I need some help with editing. So like I just started kind of like helping Raj produce the things that he wanted while being like, you got to put a mixtape out. This guy called a Sales Rapper puts out a mixtape, and I'm like, Raj, bro, how did this guy beat you to this? So eventually, I'm sure this was really all Raj's idea, but this was really my idea. As we're putting this album together, I'm like, bro, how do I get on this album? How do I get on this? I'm like Raj. So I'm like Raj, I can do voices, right? Like, can I like do some kind of like, yo man, Raj is the best, blah 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 blah. In the background, it's like, I don't know. When he comes out with Dry Powder, I'm like, yo, this slaps. This is epic, bro. Right? Like we once he puts this out, I'm like, Raj, asking for a friend here, but how prevalent is cocaine culture in startups? Because if somebody like hears this, they might think you're a total cokehead.
Right. Yeah, dude.
And he's like, no, man, dry powder is the term, right? Like they talk about that, right? Like, so like, yeah, I'm drawing out this analogy. I was like, that's cool, man. What do you think about like a skit that would kind of like set it up so that nobody thinks that you're a cokehead? And like, if they don't know what dry powder is, like it's still, they get it. It gets him in on the joke. He's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So then I literally just like recorded myself on the phone doing a version of that skit, me doing all the voices, send it to him.
You doing all the voices?
Well, no. I just not the final version.
Okay.
Right. Like
Okay.
I just recorded like me doing all the voices. I sent it to him, and he just responds like, "Bro, I'm dying laughing. You just made it to the album."
Welcome everyone to another episode of Beats, Rhymes y Comunidad, where community management meets the culture. As always, I am your host, Jersey City Jeff, and today I am joined by a very fast rising star in the community space, Francisco Opazo, founder of Led by Community. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Woo! Nice. Yeah, I'm pumped. Thank you for the invite, Jeffrey. I'm really happy to be here to get a bit of Latin vibe, even though I am in the UK right now. But
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's right. You are in the UK. So you're across the water, based in London. How long have you been out there, and where are you originally from?
I am originally from Chile, a small city in the north named Iquique, but nice beach. That's the best part. We call us a little Miami in that city because it's beautiful. It's full of palms, the whole kind of border of the coast.
Really?
So it's really nice.
Little Miami. That's crazy too, because Miami has their part where they call Little Havana, like Cuba. It's like Cuba. That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
And then in the UK, we have been with my family 9 years now, a bit more than 9 years now. Last year we got our home in the UK finally after a long time renting. So yeah, good.
Yeah. That's super, super dope. Okay, so 9 years in London. What was it like growing up in Chile? And what's your earliest memory of feeling community, of having like a sense of belonging?
I think that well, I'm not like publicly sharing much, but I am a strong faith believer. I'm a Christian. So I have been I went through, you can say, every possible organization that exists across my life. Like, yes, name it. I was there a few months trying to find the right place. And then probably that was the very early, I remember from my 6-7 years, I was always looking to spend time with other people to learn from the Bible. That was kind of always like my north. Even like because of that, I was humbly a very kind of decent guy. Like when I was young, I remember the rest of the many kids in the neighborhood were like, I don't know, smoking or cursing, sometimes even like stealing stuff.
Yeah, debaucherous behavior. Yeah,
exactly. But I was like very kind of, no, that's not me. That's not for me. Like I was just like the whole time reading books. And mostly, I would say during my childhood, also playing lots of music. I learned a lot of classic music, like how to actually play piano. And I know how to play any type of flute that exists, like sopranino, contralto, traverse, all of them, whatever. Just I love the classic music. So yeah, that was probably one of my, I would say, one of my shields when I was a kid. Like I was very busy practicing music because we have, I remember at school, a small classic group named Recercate. Right. That in Latin means kind of looking or searching for like the best. Kind of that was the idea behind the word in Latin, Recercate. So we were always, like playing and doing presentations on different schools in the city and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the quick, like on the childhood side of things.
So finding community through religion as well as through music. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Was it while you were in Chile that you discovered your passion for community building as a career, or did that come after the relocating to London?
No, it was before actually moving to UK. Because of my faith, I when I was 17, I started to learn the sign language. So I actually spent 10 years teaching the Bible to deaf people in sign language as a volunteer. So I was very close to the deaf community, also always close to the kind of people with disabilities and all that kind of stuff, the diversity and all that.
Yeah.
So I was like a translator on big seminars and things like that to help deaf people understand educational context. Even like I remember a few years I also was at the uni kind of translating classes at degree level for deaf people that wanted to become professionals. So it was very fun experience. And then because of that, I wanted to help other countries, not only Chile, like help in other countries to kind of push this ministry for deaf people. So I spent a few years in Bolivia. And when I arrived to Bolivia, almost 1 week after, I met the woman that today is my wife.
Beautiful.
So she was living in the UK already 5 years when she also flew to Bolivia to do some volunteering to help people who speak Spanish learn the Bible. I went there from Chile to Bolivia to help deaf people to learn the Bible. So we have a few deaf friends in common.
Yes.
And because of that, we met, we started to chat. And then I came back to Chile to complete my work. And then it was like, okay, maybe it's happening. So I moved to Bolivia after that to kind of keep the relationship alive. And after a year, we say, hey, let's get married. So no, we got married. We are now almost 13 years married. So
Amazing.
Has been great. Yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations. That's a beautiful story, and it's really a testament to how much community is really interwoven into your life. It almost comes across as if it's in your DNA. So that's beautiful. And it's interesting too that you discovered your spark or your passion for wanting to build a career in community through volunteer work, right? Because I feel like that's oftentimes the place where the passion, it's really the litmus test, right? For whether we're really passionate about it or not, right? If you're willing to do this kind of work, expecting nothing in return, then you know that you're really built for it and that you love it, So
that is probably a big difference between how my faith works against others. Is like we use our free time, kind of spare time, to help others learn the Bible. We don't get paid for it, or we don't get any kind of help. No, I was like, I was getting married. I needed to find a way to pay for my wedding. And I have in that time I was building websites and mobile app for clients. That was my first kind of work-wise career. So I was in Bolivia getting started from zero to build my own small agency to help brands build websites and mobile apps.
Right.
So, and also trying to get married in a country that is not yours. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. Then after a few years there, well, finally, of course, married, and we kind of rented a house to be there. And then the second year, things started to move faster, like work and stuff like that. So I opened an agency, a small office, and started to hire a few people to move faster. And then after 3 years, I remember we started to close kind of big brands for mobile apps. So for instance, the big pasta brand of Bolivia was a national chain. We kind of closed a contract to build their website and their mobile apps.
Right.
So that was a big win, because when we put that in our kind of social, that, hey, we close a deal and we are running and launching this, then other brands pop and say, hey, we want the same, and blah, blah, blah. So kind of was like the moment.
The aha moment.
And then all these brands that we started to help with the mobile apps and website, and also e-commerce, because imagine that is line almost 14 years ago, e-commerce was in pants, like kind of nappies. So like for them to showcase a full e-commerce store was like, oh, we are the ultimate kind of brand, right? So that was the advantage I brought from Chile, because in Chile that side of things was a bit ahead in the e-commerce side. So I knew how to build sites with e-commerce and payments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
14 years ago. Then once I did the tour, we were kind of stable. Things were gradually growing. I was even doing classes to postgraduates at the uni in Bolivia. And then these brands came back and said, hey, Francisco, we also need social media and paid acquisition and media buying and all that stuff. Do you do that? And I said, not really. Not really, because I was kind of a developer, right? So I said, maybe I should go heads down and try to kind of learn by myself all this stuff, because it's like another channel for revenue. So I kept my team building sites, apps. I was mostly closing deals with clients, but using the rest of my time just heads down to learn. So I bought every possible course in English that you can find about marketing, SEO, content marketing, media acquisition, ads, Google, everything that exists. I went through all of them in 2 years, and after that I became a Jedi.
Yeah.
And I said, I went back to these brands after 2 years and said, hey guys, we are in a shape now to help also with that. Really? Yes. Oh, amazing. So we expanded the whole services of the agency. And that triggered because we got like the big chain of supermarkets from Bolivia as a customer. So we ran the marketing for all of them with photographers, doing video, like social, and went crazy. Things were like really going up. And then I say, hey, we should start kind of building Facebook groups for all the brands that we manage social. So by that time, after 5 years running the agency, we have like 40 clients in our portfolio, and we were running one Facebook group per brand.
Yeah.
So my small team, in that time, we were already 8 plus me, 9 total. We were community managers of 40 Facebook groups.
Yeah.
So, and that happened around 4 or 5 years before I moved to the UK. So we were all that time without all the technicalities that today people like to speak about. Oh, we are like community and CX and customer experience and customer marketing, all the fancy words. We were doing the work, helping brands to thrive and sell more with Facebook groups. Easy as that, right?
Yes.
And then when I started, because even if you check my Facebook profile, you search Francisco Opazo, my Facebook profile had like 15,000 followers. All from Latin America, because in that time
because of all these groups that you were managing. I
was kind of getting up in the marketing and famous bit. And then my wife says, I'm missing out the UK, how organized things works there, and blah 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 blah. Also, it's close to my family, and I was like, oh. And then we ended up saying, okay, let's try. So I have to kind of, in that time, the remote stuff was not working well for Latin America. So there was a culture that the boss can be in UK and then can manage the full team remote.
Right.
No, like that was not in the
that didn't really exist.
No. So we try a year, but was not going well. So I said, it's better to shut it down and then just focus on UK stuff and move on.
Got it.
So I got my first job in UK as a senior digital project manager for an agency that was running campaigns for tourism. So I was mostly managing SEO, building websites, mobile apps, and paid media for all these brands. So for instance, I built the website for barbados.org. That is visitbarbados.org.
Yeah.
Then also we were managing huge millionaire budgets for US, Dubai, Malta, Malaysia. So I was the only one doing the digital stuff, and my colleagues in the agency, they were doing all the out of home stuff. Like metro taxis, kind of with the brand stuff and crazy. But I was doing the digital bit.
Got it.
So was exciting stage,
that is such an amazing trajectory into community, right? Because it starts from a very community driven space. Then you're coming from the tech aspect, developing and then opening an agency to develop apps, then going heavy into the marketing side of things. And it's interesting that, beautifully told as well, right? Based on your LinkedIn rap sheet over here, you describe yourself as a growth marketer and a community strategist when necessary. So at what point, as you're becoming a marketing Jedi, right, do you realize that that there's this community strategist element to your work, and how do you see it fitting in with digital marketing, the entire digital marketing umbrella? Because there's so many lanes, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think that even I posted about this yesterday when I said it's not about how many years you have held the title or the word community in your titles.
Correct.
It's about how many years you have done the work.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we count how many years I have been doing the work, 5 years before moving to UK plus 9 years in the UK is like 14.
Correct.
No. So, but I don't have the title community only the last 3 years, maybe.
100%. 100%. That's why you're perfect for this show.
So, and then what happened is because when I moved to UK, even though because I was a developer, my English written was not that bad,
right?
No, but my English speaking was rubbish, was really bad.
Yeah.
I said, what can I do to level up? Because I needed to move fast, otherwise, no, I'm struggling. So
Correct.
I created another Facebook group to help in English people who build communities on WordPress. So I created the Buddy Boss community. Buddy Boss is a WordPress plugin for communities.
That's right.
Today, the group owned by the company is actually mine, the one that I created that many years ago. Yes.
Legend. So legendary stuff, man.
Honestly, this story, no one have idea. I never have shared the full kind of story.
Oh my God.
Because it's a bit of too long.
ERC exclusive, man. You're serving up Happy Meals for me today. I love this, man. This is a great conversation. Keep going.
Yeah. And then, well, what happened? I said, probably I can, because I knew WordPress, I knew how to build the communities with Buddy Boss, etc. I said, okay, let's launch the group. In 2 months, we got 600 members. What was happening every time that the guys release an update, I was testing right away, and sometimes updates break the site. So I was reporting, guys, don't update because there is a big mess on this and that. No, and then after 2 months of me reporting everything, you know, one guy chatted me on Facebook and said, "Hey, my name is Tom. I am the CEO of Adivos." Oh, and I got like, this guy wants to shut down my community. I imagine something like that.
Right.
And then he said, "Hey, thank you so much for helping our customers with your community. We would love to have a chat." And then I said, "Okay, let's do it." So we did a call, and to be honest, the first call was 3 hours.
Wow.
There was so much to talk about, like in common ideas and projects and dreams. It was insane. Today, with the CEO of Adivos, Tom, we are still good friends. We chat every other week to share our kids' pictures and stuff because the guy got married last year and now we have a baby. So, but he's of course he's younger than me, but he's really smart. I learned a ton from him. So what happened after that call? He said, we are missing out. I'm going to talk with my co-founder and try to see if we can come up with an offer for you. So they wanted me to work for them.
Wow.
So 2 days later, he said, "Hey, I have some updates. Can we have another call?" Yeah, of course. That one was only 1 hour. No, but he says, we want you to join us as head of community for Buddy Boss.
Right.
And then let's say we set a date. Imagine 1st July. We are in the middle of June. So they gave me access to Slack, to my email, kind of a slight onboarding before the big official day.
Right.
And I saw my calendar, all the meetings, product meetings, marketing meetings, developers meeting, everything. I just started to join the scrums.
Yeah.
No, and then I joined the scrum for product. They were like discussing, hey, we should do this and the UI, a key and that. And because I was technical, I started to let's say, hey guys, that's clunky. Like you should do this, you should do that. So I started to like kind of sharing my advice because they didn't know that I was technical. Right. So I started to like share my advice, my tips, my ideas, how it should be, how the experience should be, etc. And then 1 week before I start, the CEO called me back and said, "Hey, Francisco, I think we have the right person in the wrong place."
Wow.
What do you mean? Initially, I thought this guy is not going to let me get started or something like, no?
Yeah.
And because that sounds like scary. And then, no, you should not join us as head of community. You should join us to lead the marketing team because we don't have a marketer yet. So you should be the first one. So I joined as marketing manager first year.
Okay.
Second year, I was marketing director because I built my team from 0 to 17 members, only the marketing team in 2 years.
Amazing.
So I hired every single member of my team, the SEO, the copywriters, the designers, the developers, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was crazy good experience. So then I worked with them. from scratch. But all the time that I was the marketing manager, I was the one leading the community as well on Facebook.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I said
So
I have been doing the work.
you're doing
the
it all,
time,
man.
But exactly, but without the title. So
Man,
that was the funny part.
If
And
they
then
if they ever
Okay.
say if they ever say jack of all trades, master of none, I don't think that really applies to you. I think it's possible to be master of trades, man. Amazing, amazing.
Honestly, like always, I don't know, like it's just destiny, whatever you want to call it. But I was
So-
really enjoying. So yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because a lot of your experience, and I love that you come from the technical background. I think it just really empowered you to move at the speed in which you've moved in your career. There seems within the community management space to be a tension between growth marketing and community building, right? It's almost as if the two contradict each other. At least that's the perception that a lot of folks within the community space seem to have. I don't get that impression with you. I
No.
think that you believe growth marketing and community can live in the same space and can play together. So explain to me why you believe that and how it works.
Yes, I think that well, the term growth means so many things these days.
Correct.
Let's clarify.
Right.
So for me, growth means revenue.
Mm-hmm.
The means doesn't matter, but I have my favorite ways to grow. Right. For instance, I'm not a fan of spam. So all these tools for like multiply your cold calling and cold spamming on automated every outreach on LinkedIn. I'm not a fan of that way of growth.
Yeah.
They call it like growth marketing and growth hacks, but that for me is not the human way to grow.
Mm-hmm.
A few brands have grown crazy doing that, and that's okay. If they want to spam half of the world to get 10 clients, that's okay with them. But it's not the way I would love to kind of build my brand. So I feel that, like, especially when I worked, because after Body Boss 2 years and a half, I joined Circle.so as the first marketer as well. So it was crazy good. I was working directly with Andrew Guttorsen, that is current kind of the CMO.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always like in the demand generation side of things. So for me, like the growth marketing is a demand generation engine.
Right.
And that involves many areas. Community is one. Partnerships is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Then demand generation properly, like SEO, organic, and then also paid acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So at least those 4 components in my brain are part of the growth.
Right.
I will always exclude the spam because it's not what I love.
Right.
The other 4 components for me are great because you can, let's say, if you need to grow the community and you need to move fast, you can use like paid media, a bit of money to bring people to the community landing page.
Correct.
Then say if you want to generate demand through webinars, again, you can boost webinar registrations using a bit of resources to drive more ads to your webinar.
Correct.
So I feel that is the balance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the community bit is, I would say, the engine for partnerships. Like I'm sold that the partnerships is the future of growth because it's sustainable.
Yeah.
No, actually, at Body Boss, I did a very kind of beautiful work building the whole ecosystem, the whole technical partnership ecosystem. For instance, again, Body Boss platform as a product was new in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
There was no integrations, like nothing integrated with the Body Boss platform. Let's say no events, no CRM, nothing. So what I did a tour for the whole WordPress ecosystem. So now I'm a good friend with almost every founder of the WordPress ecosystem. And what I did manage to pitch and convince 42 companies the first year to develop native integrations for the Body Boss. Events calendar, CRMs, webinar platforms, and forms, and whatever you can imagine, the tools that your community needs that Body Boss didn't have in that time.
Correct.
Then were native integrations from other companies.
Yeah.
So then we started to run webinars with all of them. And all those were demand generation. So all that was generating revenue for us and also for our partners. It's not like it's win-win.
Right.
But I feel that the growth side of things is tied to the community in the sense that like your partners are a community, then your customers are the other one. That was kind of covered, because the customer community of Adibos was happening. Then the same at Circle, the customer community was happening. But we needed to move out of, and start building also a partnerships engine. So that's how I feel the community concept connect the dots.
Right.
Because your partners are a community, the creators are a community, the influencers are another community. then your customers are another, and then your own internal community, your team. Also, you need to look after them. So
Correct.
that's how I feel like the growth and the community are connected. No?
And that's such an important point to make about it, right? Is that I think oftentimes where most organizations get it wrong is because they're only focused on one particular thing at any given moment in time.
One channel. Yeah.
Rather than trying to hit on all these things simultaneously, it's like we're going to pour all of our efforts into just the demand gen side of things. And they see it as being a monolith rather than seeing community as being a part of that. And that's where it fails, because you're too focused on the growth aspect of things without taking care of your community at the same time. Right. It's like there's room to do both simultaneously. So
traffic doesn't mean necessarily revenue.
Correct. Correct.
No. And also like visits on your site doesn't mean if you're not converting, if they haven't heard about your brand before through a community or word of mouth, they will not convert.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's even outside of the community management space, I think a lot of folks have that misconception, even when it comes to like the creator space, right? People have this sort of stigma or this perception in their head that they have to grow 100% organically, and that if they threw any paid behind any of their creator efforts, that they're buying their followers or that sort of thing. And it's like, to an extent, I understand that, you want to do things with integrity, but you can do both.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. My approach to the whole community thing is kind of a marketer approach. So for me, it's like, for instance, I do care for the details. Like whenever I am trying to deliver a project, usually looks good.
Yeah.
No, like whatever we try to do, we try to create a good impression.
100%.
Like I do care for the branding stuff. I do care for the messaging, the value prop.
Because it all plays into each other, right? Like it's all part of the way someone experiences your brand, right? Whether it be marketing, community, sales, all of that. Like everything is a touch point. So I love that. Now I gotta ask this: you founded Led by Community in 2022. And at this point in time, there was an explosion of communities designed for community professionals that were coming onto the scene. You know, it was like before COVID, maybe you had Community Roundtable, CMX, and maybe one or two others. But during COVID, there was like so many that popped up. And yours came at a time where it was like, oh, here's another one. So what was your thought process as the vision for Led by Community was coming together, and what gave you the motivation to proceed with it during a time where there were so many people entering the space?
Yeah, this is part of the funny story too.
Yeah.
So I was working at Circle. No, I was already half or maybe 8 months working at Circle. And I was like, the FOMO to be part of the community team was too much big for me. I couldn't hold more.
Right.
I said to the founders, hey guys, is there a way for me to spend a few hours every week helping in the community? In that time, my friend Mathilde Leo, she was the only one in the community team in that time.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, but your role using time on marketing can generate way more revenue than if you spend time on the community bit. So that was a kind no, right? I was like, no, you cannot. So, and I'm very stubborn in general. Like, that's why probably I keep pushing and I keep trying, because I'm very stubborn. My wife always kind of ran against me on that.
Yeah.
And I said, but I cannot stay calm. Like, that's not going to work for me. What should I do? And then I said, maybe I should try to create at least something to help the industry.
Right.
That's why I came up first with the Led by Community as a simple newsletter.
Correct.
But I said, because all this explosion of communities and everyone like trying to like get attention, I felt overwhelming the way to get access to the resources. So I said, I know what should I do? I should collect all of them in one newsletter. And that's what we're still doing today. Actually, yesterday I launched number 114.
Yeah.
114 newsletter. No? And then what I did, I spent 2 weeks scanning the world and everything. I have a doc with 300 blogs.
Yeah.
I have a blog with like 80 podcasts. and I have a blog with like, when that time we're more active, but like job boards and stuff like that, where to find community roles. And then I started to curate that every week. So the big job was that you need to check those blogs every week to see what is new.
What's new? Yep.
So I did that 2 months, but it was overkill. It's really like a kind of titanic task. So I couldn't sustain it.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm working at Circle. I'm getting paid kind of good enough. So I hired someone to help me with that job. Actually, that person today is the oldest, if we can say, in my team. She has been with me almost 3 years.
Amazing.
She's named Ismot Shahan.
Shout out.
She's the wife.
Yes.
She's the wife of one of my good friends that I met during my WordPress ecosystem tour. Right?
Yeah.
So she's actually she's mom now. When I met her, they didn't have even kids.
Right.
So she's the one who curates our newsletter, and also she is the one who owns the job board that we run. She's updating that every day. So the real job is done by Ismot, really.
Love it. Yeah, and that's a big job too, man. There's a lot of folks out there that are checking up on that. I'm sure that job board gets plenty of traffic.
yeah. It's like 3,500 visits every month.
Wow,
yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Only the job board on top of any other things that we promote for the event stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. And
so
then
you start to see traction with the newsletter. At which point do you
after 2 months? So after 2 months, Ismot started to relieve me of the big job. I was just doing edition and the intro of the newsletter.
Right.
And then Nicola R and Jay Elango, both of them almost at the same time reach out to me and say, Francisco, we love your newsletter. Do you need help? And I said, I would love someday to run online events so we can scale the way we help others.
Right.
So Nicola says, I can be the host. And Jay say, hey, I have good connections. Maybe I can help you curate the list of speakers for the events.
Yeah.
And we created a small team, 3 of us.
Yeah.
And we started to organize the first events.
I love it. Shout out to Nicola too. I actually just had a meeting with her yesterday. She's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, she's great. We are very good friends. And also Jay Elango, she was also supported from day one.
Yes, Jay. Yeah, shout out to her too. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So you start organizing these events. People start coming to I would imagine at first they're kind of localized for smaller scale events, because at this point you're doing conferences with some of the biggest names in the game.
Yeah. At the beginning, I remember, the first event, like 12 people show up. The second event, 17, 18. And as gradually it was getting better and better. Also, even though it was a very painful, but the newsletter, the first 2 years was really hard to grow.
Yeah.
I remember, because this was like why everything happened. I saw this guy, David Spinks, no?
Yes.
He was, one day he posted, I don't know, sure the motivation behind that was like, maybe like a ego. I have no idea. But the guy says, I'm so glad 500 people has joined my newsletter this month. And I was what the hell? This guy is barely doing content these days, and he got 500 subscribers in a month.
Yeah.
And I am doing a ton of work, and I got 25 this month. My God. And I was so like disheartened, then even like I started to question me, like, really worth all the effort and all the pain? And honestly, when I saw that post, and I was like, maybe I'm wasting my time here. Honestly, it was a very existential moment.
But you're stubborn, man. So I can imagine that this only served as like a little bit of motivation. You know
what happened?
Sometimes you need to have a chip on your shoulder just to be like, okay, you know what? Let me double down on my efforts. So yeah,
you know what happened? That was like June, no? And then I came up with the idea: how can I grow my newsletter this way in a month? And then I said, let's run an online summit. And I launched my first online summit named Community Everywhere in 2023, November 2023. 40 speakers, 1,200 people RSVP for the event.
Yeah.
So my newsletter grew 1,200 in a month. And that was the trick.
This guy.
So it was insane. So in a month, I doubled my newsletter because of the online summit.
Amazing.
Right?
So now you found like another aha moment where it's like, okay, here's the sweet spot. Here's how I grow even more.
And then and the feedback from that event was so good.
Yeah.
Also was my way to connect with, as you said, like big names in the industry. No, I'm not a big name in the industry. I'm just like kind of, I would say, the facilitator for big things to happen.
Yeah,
That's how I see myself these days. I am just like the connector, the facilitator to get everyone else in the spotlight. That's
100%.
that's kind of my life-driven idea. right?
Yeah.
And then no, even like Richard was kind enough to help and speak. Brian, even we got Ed, we got honestly, like, it was crazy good. Even today, the site's still on communityeverywhere.com.
Yeah.
That's still there. And then when I saw that the last day, I was like, all the cool stuff is happening in the US. All the cool stuff, CMX and everything is happening there. So I said, why if we try to do something on this side of the pond? And then I called Valentina Ruffoni. She was working for Finemize doing conference stuff.
Another
and she did
Yep.
and she did one of the conferences in Rich Mix in London.
Yep.
And I asked her, hey, how is the Rich Mix place? Is good enough? And yeah, it was good enough. We hosted 200 conference people. It was great. And I said, okay, do you have the number? So I connected with them. Before the Community Everywhere Summit ended, I called them and said, hey guys, do you have July 10th next year free? That was like 7 months before July, no?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, it's free. Okay, can I book it? Yeah, you need to pay X money. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. So they send the invoice and I pay kind of deposit way, no? Like 2K pounds deposit way.
Right.
Only deposit to secure the date.
Yeah.
And then on Friday of the Community Everywhere, I said, hey guys, we have some big news. Next year, July 10th, Community Everywhere in London. Right? In that time, it was Community Everywhere because that was in my head as brand. And then, when the things started to like take shape, I said, maybe Community Everywhere is not the best. So I turned that into Community-led World Conference.
Right.
So last year, in July 10th, we ran the very first Community-led World Conference. It was one day in London. Again, I paid a company to stream the whole thing. We have beautiful replays. And we got 1,180 in the streaming, plus 130 people in London.
Amazing.
So again, what I tripled my newsletter in a month again. but like the feedback, we got 42 testimonials. Now, when you go to the current site for London Community Week, you can see all the section with all the people saying that, sharing the love,
raving about it. Yep, absolutely.
So, and then again, once that happened, and I saw like positive feedback, brands, Chorus helping, Gainside helping, Better Mode. I was actually head of community for Better Mode during that time.
Yep, that's right.
Even my own CEO of Boss kind of came and support. Even that was my first day. I met them in person actually. So it was basically very good experience. So I really kudos to all the brands that have been made this possible. Honestly,
Absolutely.
Every brand, even Talkbase helped in that time, even though they are living out but like Clara was kind enough to be a sponsor as well. Gainside, Chorus,
Shout
any
out
others.
to Clara at Talkbase for sure.
Yeah. After the feedback from London, so much love, and even like getting these brands helping us, I was always like in the lookout, what we can do to improve the experience, to make people really like enjoy this experience of it together. Yeah. And then I spot the Tech Week. So Tech Week was running in San Francisco, New York, and many other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
They just did
and also they have Tech Week London. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And then I started to like dig deep, like in what they do, how they manage and stuff. And I said, maybe we should come up with the Community Week concept.
I like this.
That's why, based on that inspiration, I came up with the idea to create the Community Week concept. And actually this year, earlier in March, the first week of March, we ran Community Week Online Summit.
Yeah, that's right.
It was 5 days of events, 4 speakers per day. Also was massive. And we got 640 people actually joining. And we went all in. For instance, you can search in the app stores, Community Week, and you can download on mobile app.
Yeah.
Like there is iOS, Android, and plus web app. It's like all in, the experience.
Yeah.
Because I care for the details, right?
Yep. Absolutely. All right. I gotta pause you here and ask another question because
sure.
You made your previous point about your frustration as you were growing the newsletter, right? Seeing folks like Spinks come out and say, "Hey, I got like 500 subscribers." Now, entering into the conference space, where again, there's also a good number of folks who are doing community conferences for builders such as ourselves. What have you learned in terms of how to curate some of this content within the conference experience? Because one of the biggest critiques from the community space is that a lot of these sessions, when they go to different conferences, are kind of repetitive and kind of touching on topics where a lot of the same information gets repeated and recycled. So how have you was this top of mind for you, and how have you sort of approached that in your What has been your strategy and your approach to that for Community Week?
I think that in the Community Week, especially, we try to go for practical frameworks and clear takeaways. It's not about stories. I don't want to hear your story. I don't want to hear how cool you are. Nothing. So like even for London Community Week, we cut all talks time. For instance, we have talks that are 15 minutes, others that are just 20 minutes.
Correct.
No, and only the keynotes are kind of longer.
Right.
But it's like everything lining, like, hey, come share your goodness and leave. Like no time to like babbling, no time to tell me your story. No, like we have 5 minutes in the middle of each talk where the MC, Margot Miller or Jennifer Serrat this year, because we have 2 tracks in London Community Week, 46 speakers, is massive. We are in those 5 minutes, the MC will share your whole story. You born, and your name, and you got baptized this day, and all that. The MC is going to share it, not your slides.
Too. I love that.
No, not your slides. It's not about your story. This is about like what people can learn from you in 15 minutes and say, "Wow, Joe is so cool. Like Jeffrey is so cool.
Yeah,
like this is so valuable for me." Right. And then what we are doing to elevate the experience also, we have partnered with a tech brand, event tech brand named Snapsite. What these guys do, they listened with AI to the speaker in real time.
Right.
And in the background of the speaker, we are going to show kind of a mind map where all the key points in real time with different colors.
Amazing. That's nice.
Then people can scan a QR code straight from the screen to get all the info live. And then you can even tap each box to unveil the full breakdown of the information shared by the speaker. And then, of course, you can save all that information.
Yeah.
Right? So we are trying to make everything very actionable. No cheesy, no, even like submissions that were story-based. We even had like one-to-ones just to explain, hey, turn that into a framework, please.
Correct.
So you can say you work for Impact Hub Germany, but turn that into a framework. How we can learn from what you do, right?
Yeah.
Things like that.
So basically, let's pivot away from the warm and fuzzies of, all of that is great stuff, and I think that it comes as a side effect just from the conference experience because everyone's around each other, everyone's happy to see each other, that kind of thing. But focusing on the practical and giving something that folks can use immediately.
Exactly.
Is wonderful. Yeah.
Even honestly, even that was not well received from all the speakers. That kind of the sessions were like that lightning way. Was not like fully well received from everyone. We need to actually like to sell the idea to them, to those that came back to us, say, hey, it's not like that short, like right. But they got it, like a few of them
because everyone's been so used to hearing this long drawn out narrative that sounds so beautiful and poetic, but it's like no. Where if you want to know about this person, do your homework. We're here to get shit done, kind of thing.
Yeah, you got it.
I love that. Yes. I love that. That's amazing. And we have
one second before we move on. Just kudos to Valentina Ruffoni. She's my program director. She's the Community Week program director, and she has been dealing with me every day to get this agenda out. Actually, it's live on the website. So
she may not know it yet because it's been a while since we spoke, but she is a very, very good friend of the show. We met back in 2019 at CMX Summit at Google headquarters, as a matter of fact, out in the Bay. So big shout out to Valentina. She is a powerhouse, a superstar in the community space. Cool. So we have London Community Week coming up soon, huh?
Yeah, it's 25 days actually.
25 days.
Yes.
Your days these days must be pretty busy, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, mostly like operations. Even we are still pitching sponsors to get help because we are running 4 days of official events.
Let's talk about sponsorship opportunities and partnerships. Let's spend a little bit of time there because that's a skill set in and of itself. What are your best tips for folks who are looking to grow partnerships within their business and gain sponsors?
I think that you need to be humble. And you need to be also. You need to try to be able to sell your story, like the why. Like the why of Led by Community or even Community Week. it's not money yet. Sadly,
Right.
like it's not that like by running London Community Week, I'm going to get 50K clean net profits for Francisco. No,
Yeah.
dream. No. Even I have, because I have been very close to the event profs recently. I actually learned from them that the conference start getting some profits after the third year.
Right.
That is the average. So I'm still have 1 year more to run without maybe much profits until we build enough brand for big players to jump in and help.
Yeah.
So it's not about, probably that's still. Also, I am kind of the underdog on this.
Correct.
Like I am first. This is bootstrapped by Francisco. Everything is my pocket.
Yep.
Everything is like the whole bill is on me.
Yep.
Right. So that's why probably that is an aspect of the story that brands value, because it's not like kind of game side with an unlimited budget running polls in US or Europe.
Right.
No, kudos to Gainside. They are my global sponsor, but
of course,
like the comparison is no way. Like they run a conference for 2,000 people. Imagine how much that cost. I am trying to run
and they just brought on Erica Cool, so it's like, oh my gosh, they're a force. They're a force to be reckoned with now. You know?
Yeah. So likely Erica Cool will join us too. So not in London, but on the next one. Yeah, so
salute and congratulations to her, man.
But I feel that in my case, I feel when I am able to kind of articulate the vision of the project, the impact that we have generated already, even in this short time, 3 years only. It's less than 3 years actually. The London Community Week happened in the anniversary year. So July 10th is the day of kind of anniversary day. That's why we ran the whole show on that day. But I feel that has helped. Like first, people see consistency. They see 100%. Consistency in what we do, where we are consistently delivering value, events, content, and we are helping everyone. Like I would say one important mindset to gain the goodwill of others, in my case, is no bias.
Right.
For instance, there is a lot of weird ideas that we compete with CMX, or we compete with Community Collective, or we compete with Community. No. If you check my newsletter, I am helping everyone. If CMX is running events, those events are listed in my newsletter. If Paz is running stuff in Australia, I'm using my newsletter to help her. If Nikki is doing something cool, I am promoting Nikki's community. 100%. Right? It's not my approach is no bias.
Nikki's one of your speakers. She was like, she's going to be on your podcast. Like, so yeah, and I love that too, because there's far too many organizations out there that view things from a competitive lens, and it's like there's room for everyone here, and we don't have to vie for people's attention. It should be a collective effort. It should be coming from the space that you come from, which is really helping others, right? So it's the fact that you approached it from the perspective of truly just helping others, and in that way it affected your decision to make your newsletter a curation of everything that's going on in the space is absolutely genius to me. And it's what's empowered you to be successful in this space, and what's empowered your growth to be so impactful in such a short period of time. So congratulations.
We are organizing something big actually with CMX and the Community Collective.
Okay.
At the CMX in May, we announced a 24-hour global summit named Loop.
Yes, that's right.
So let's talk about Loop. The 24-hour online summit named Loop is run by CMX, led by Community, and the Community Collective. Right. Each organization is taking ownership of 8 hours of the program.
Right.
So all my volunteers today, led by Community, has 30 volunteers. All my volunteers are going to be able to speak and also to run and host sessions to make this summit happen. The same for Paz, and the same for Beth and all the CMX volunteers over there.
That's right.
So that will be like kind of the ultimate way to prove the world, hey, these organizations are working together to just push forward the industry. Has nothing to do with competition, right? Exactly. Nothing. Like this can destroy any crazy ideas that people might have. So
100%. What do you tell people when they ask you what community management is? Because I feel like the term itself and its application as a viable career path is still misunderstood by so many people. So when someone asks you what is community management, what do you say?
Interesting question. I think that it's more like being, I would say, being the one able to facilitate connections between people to make them grow.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Yeah.
Because that can affect anything. Like if people are using a product, you are just facilitating people and knowledge so they can grow.
Right.
Like doesn't matter. Like that is kind of a principle, more like rather than a description. It's like a principle. Like community management, you are not managing people. You are not the boss. You are not assigning tasks. No, you are just facilitating, a conversation. So whatever they need is there. If they need to like learn from each other, you facilitate that opportunity. You build the opportunity, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I launched a song about that. Like the builder is the hero, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So
100%, man. So what would you say are your biggest takeaways? Because you came into your career as a developer, you grew into a marketer, who then grew into a community strategist, and now you've entered the event space. What are your biggest takeaways and what you've learned about event planning and event marketing?
I'm seeing. I don't know. Probably it's more like a philosophy of living. I would say.
Yeah.
It's more like I never. First, I'm stubborn. That's the first. That you need that if you want to be like kind of entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. You need to be stubborn, but also you need to be humble.
Yeah.
No, you need to be able to fall and be humble enough to recognize what you did wrong so you can improve for the next iteration.
Correct.
Right. So you need to be stubborn to keep going. You need to be humble enough so you can recognize where you mess up.
Yeah.
I have had to apologize a few times because I have lots of impetu. And sometimes that impetu, that passion, sometimes make me make wrong decisions or say things that maybe hurt others. So I have been humble enough to say, hey, I'm really sorry. That was never intended. No.
Yeah.
So and then regarding kind of industry way, I would say you don't need to reveal all your cards.
Right.
Just play with them. Easy as that. For instance, not everyone knows that I am a web developer. No one knows that I know how to edit video on Premiere Pro or After Effects, but I can.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can like start mentioning stuff that is very technical, even like related to video or photo, because I was doing even wedding photography on the weekends in Bolivia to survive.
Man,
that level makes sense.
You are a man after my own heart. I love it.
So I would say just like if you have cards under your sleeve, play them when they are needed.
Correct.
No, you don't need to reveal all of them.
Yeah, you don't got to
show stay humble so you can actually have enough opportunities to learn. Because if you try to shine too much, that's sometimes annoying other people.
Yeah, it can be a turnoff. Yeah.
Yes, and you miss out on opportunities just to learn more.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, I would say because of my faith is also affecting that way of thinking. That
huge.
Kind of being of being humble.
Yep.
Like kind of just like always ready to learn, always like even like helping others, putting others up above me and so on.
Yeah.
In my case, that has helped in general to have opportunities to land on different spaces to learn more. And then I am just collecting all those learnings and then throwing them into what I love. Today is my people, my community, my friends, and Community Week led by community. Even we are, I'm going to disclose a few things that are not public yet. We are also already working to turn led by community into a non-profit.
Yep.
In the UK, because we want to unlock the growth easy so we can help more people. In UK, you can apply even for grants to get help. So I don't need to be worried about who is going to pay the community manager, the events manager, and that can happen kind of organically. So yeah, we are trying to do and put everything in place so this project can be sustainable in the long run. That's where we are right now.
100%. With this show exploring the intersection of community management and culture, excuse me, what would you say? Are there any nuances between the way community managers in the US understand the industry versus how it's perceived or the understanding of it across the pond or abroad in general? Because I'm curious to know if there are any cultural nuances in how we approach this industry, especially as we move into the future.
I think that rather the nuances might come from local culture, like country-led, rather than
Right.
industry. So,
Yeah.
for instance, the way British people speak, I'm not British. No, I have been just dealing with them, learning from them,
Right.
But they have their way of thinking, their way to communicate, their way. I'm not that polite as them, right? I just many times I just say stuff out.
But you're
They
humble.
don't.
But you're humble. So that's a great quality to have, because when you say things like it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, I think that gives some people a card, or it makes people think that they get a pass at being an asshole,
Yeah.
But when you have that sense of humility, you're able to recognize and identify those places where an apology is appropriate. So you're good, man. You're good. Go
So
on.
my take is that it's more like local culture that affects a lot how even, like, let's say, even if you have user groups, like the people who communicate in Denver is not the way they communicate in San Francisco. Even sometimes they speak different, like,
Yeah.
and the same. So I feel that it's more about that. No, rather than a specific, like, to the industry. It's more like the local culture, the country is affecting how relationships are built also online when you run customer or brand communities.
Yeah, so it's more of a communication thing, and just being mindful and aware of those communication nuances.
Differences. Yeah. That can be a
Makes a lot of
challenge when
sense.
you are, let's say, you are like UK community manager running a US community mostly, because like Americans are more like expressive and they share, but UK hold. So then these UK people need to learn. Oh, but they operate different. They react different. So that person is just to be flexible enough to kind of turn a bit and cling with them. No.
Yeah.
So, but you need that flexibility. Even like when you change industry, doing the same role, community manager, you also need to change and tweak your thinking, on how things go.
100%. You've done so many things to make so many efforts to help the community management space, and you continue to do that on a daily basis. There's so many folks out there that are pivoting into this space. Number one, what would you say to new folks entering community management? And then two, what would you say are the biggest challenges facing the industry right now? Because we still, even though this has been a viable career path for like at least the past 15 to 20 years, it seems like we still struggle to solidify our place in the professional world, right? Like budgets dry up, people get laid off, community is one of the first things to go, it seems, right? What would you say are the biggest challenges facing us, and how can we move the needle forward in solidifying our place in the professional world?
I think that there are a few principles that have been mentioned before by other people, but they are still relevant. The first is try to connect the community KPIs with business goals. That is like, and then but not what you think are business goals, like the real business goals. Hey, how can we use community or part of the community outcomes as a way to drive impact for the business? Because if you are able to tie them, then your executives are going to give you resources, approve requests that you might have, maybe raise your salary, or maybe bring a colleague to support your work.
Yes.
But that will only happen if you, from day one, you start communicating, and probably you need to over communicate with them, asking, hey, how can I really get my work done, but driven by business goals? So at the end of the quarter, when I have to report to you, you are expecting the right reports, like the right KPIs reported to you. From day one, you should ask for that, because that's the way you can guarantee your role there. No, that's the way. So if you at the first quarter that you work there, you need to report back to your superiors, whoever it is. If they gave you like the right KPIs and you met them, then good. But if you don't have clarity on what they are, you are going to be struggling, and your work will not be quantifiable.
You're flying blind. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then people starting new. I would say we have been doing a led by community because there is a kind of core team that is kind of part of my employees, a few volunteers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In our case, for instance, Paola, that is today is community and events manager. She has a ton of experience in the co-working space. She works in Brazil for Impact Hub before a few years as head of community of a hub in Rio. So she a ton of like community building experience and in person, like she's great.
Yeah.
But she didn't work in online communities. Right? It's mostly like real world. So what we discussed, and she said she reached out and said, "Hey, Francisco, we love to also learn how to go online and operations and event and all that." So I said, "Hey, why you don't, if you have time, because not everyone has the same circumstances, but if you have some time, why you don't join a kind of internship?"
Yeah.
So she did kind of an internship with us, a few months. I just spent my own time helping her to learn the ins and outs of what we do.
Right.
And then, now she's hired. Like I am actually, she's my kind of part of my team.
Yeah.
She's working full time for us.
Yep.
But she was willing to spend some time learning, but in the weeds, not just like joining online events to learn the theory.
Right. She was actually getting boots on the ground experience. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And today she runs, I would say, 50% of Leva community, right?
I love it.
So,
yeah.
But and then now we have another person that is doing similar. She's from Italy, named Sarah. And she actually has a part-time role.
Right.
But now she's also learning with us this bit of the operations. And my goal is, once we keep going, likely bring Sarah in as well, right? So, but I would say if you want to learn in the weeds, like doing the real job of work, then just ping me. I'm happy to help.
That's it. Dive right in. I'll throw you into the fire.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid. Just dive right in. Yeah, that's what that sounds like to me for any of you newbies out there considering pivoting into community management. The water's fine.
Into the weeds.
The water's fine. Dive right in. Come on. I love that. I love that. Francisco, your passion for this space is obvious and abundant. I want to ask you, in one word, using one word only, what does community mean to you?
Co-ownership.
Co-ownership.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that. I love that. Because it makes us as arbiters of this industry and just plain human beings that are in community with each other, a sense of accountability. And when we enter into that agreement with each other in a community setting, I think it pushes us to succeed. I love that. Yes. Co-ownership.
Co-ownership is now is my North Star, to be honest. For instance, 2 months ago, I said on my brain, I have been preaching about co-ownership the last 3 months on LinkedIn. Also, I did an event last month about co-ownership. But also, like everything we do now at Leva Community is co-owned. For instance, yesterday we announced a mentorship program. We got already 24 applications.
I love that.
In less than a day.
Amazing.
But do you know who is running the mentorship program?
Who?
No, Francisco.
Yeah.
Tali Leibovitz. She's working as advisor.
Tali,
then we have Candice Grover, Fonovon, Kagri, and Piper Wilson.
Yeah.
So five members of Led by Community, they are running the mentorship program. Not Francisco, no Paola, members. So this is 100% member-led program.
Yeah.
That's what I mean with co-ownership. Your members need to run the show, not you.
Right. Right. Yeah. If there's no co-ownership, then it's really just, all on one person, and that's not community.
No, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love that. Francisco, I got to thank you so much for joining us today, man. You are truly an inspiration. Your trajectory in this space is a marvel in my humble opinion, man, and I'm excited to see what else comes from Led by Community, from Community Week, and from you, my friend. Let the people know where they can find you. What are the best places to learn more about
the good one is My name is Francisco, like the city, San Francisco. Francisco Opazo. You can go to www.ledby.community. Everything is there. Probably that's enough. Yeah.
Led by .community. Write that down, folks, man. This guy is he's gonna make big waves in the community space. He already has. He's just gonna continue to do more of that. So thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate you. This is another episode of Beats, Rhymes y Comunidad, where community management meets the culture. I am your boy Jersey City Jeff, and we will see you soon.